Hey everybody, Icy Cat here. This time we are going to be taking a look at the operator profile for Maverick. He's the newest attacking operator for Operation Grim Sky. We are going to take a look at his weapons loadout, his gadgets, how best to use them, his tips and tricks, and more. So stick around as I break down everything you need to know about Maverick next. Maverick is the newest attacking operator that comes with this season's Operation Grim Sky. He's a quick 3-speed, 1-armor operator with a powerful gadget and strong guns. Let's start by taking a look at his loadout. First up is the M4. This is a fairly decent all-around assault rifle that feels nice on recoil and still packs a punch with a solid damage output of 44 and a fire rate of 750. Using a standard 30-round magazine, it's a well-rounded choice for any situation. Alternatively, he's got the AR-1550. This 50 caliber semi-automatic DMR hits like a truck at 62 damage with a 10-round capacity magazine. You can try to use the silencer if you really want to, but the obvious barrel attachment for rapid recoil recentering on semi-automatic is going to be the muzzle brake. Paired up with a foregrip of your choice, and this beast is ready to get kills or blow holes in walls. Because it has a larger caliber round, it only takes anywhere from 3 to 5 rounds to make a shotgun-size hole in a wall pretty quickly. Just make sure you ADS when you're doing it so that you keep your shot grouping tight, or else it will take more shots to make the hole if they're not close enough together. This is a pretty useful feature for opening up quick sightlines in soft breach surfaces. His sidearm is a special variant of the 1911. With 55 damage and an 8-round capacity, it hits hard, but be careful of your ammo count in a fast firefight if you don't land all of your shots. Choice of secondary gadgets are going to be between flashbangs or claymores. Either is fine depending on your playstyle, but he does get some special utility placement when pairing that claymore with his gadget. Speaking of, let's take a closer look at it. Maverick's special ability is the blowtorch. It's used to cut into or destroy a wide variety of surfaces and gadgets. The biggest advantage he brings is that he can cut into metal reinforced walls or hatches and create new sightlines in them very quickly and quietly. The drawback is that it takes a lot of his fuel to make large holes, but he can very easily make small holes or lines to get those unexpected angles. And yes, you can free draw any shape you want to. He gets a few canisters of fuel, and that rate of fuel consumption will be the biggest thing you'll need to be careful of. It goes very quick, and there's definitely a technique to it. Move the crosshair too quickly and you won't actually cut. Move it too slow and you'll be wasting fuel and not maximizing your cutting potential. It has a short range, which is about twice as far as melee distance, or right around 2 meters or so. Once you're at 3 meters, you will be out of range. One drawback is that you can be shot pretty easily while you're cutting through a surface from the other side. So to be safe, stand to the side and angle your cut whenever possible. That way you'll be safe from anyone firing directly at the cutting area while you're just to the side and out of harm's way. If you're standing directly in front of it, people can fire at that position and you will be dead before you finish making your cut. Reinforced walls aren't the only things he can cut into though. It'll burn through any soft breach surface as well. Wooden barricades can be cut into this way, though there's no real advantage to doing so over other techniques, and it's kind of a waste of fuel. It will cut into any soft breach wall in any shape or line you want, just like a metal wall or hatch. You can also cut into floors to open up sightlines between support beams, but it cannot cut the metal beams themselves for game balancing reasons. Because it's so quiet, you can easily open holes above the defenders with a good chance of them not noticing, unlike more explosive breaching methods. Let's do a sound comparison to other metal breachers. First up is Thermite.
Hostage located.
The difference is clear. While Thermite makes a much bigger hole, Maverick can open up smaller holes much more quietly. Same thing with Hibana. Maverick is almost stealthy compared to the other metal breachers. The drawback is of course that he has a harder time creating a larger hole to actually move through, but if your technique is good, you can easily do this with just a single canister of fuel. It takes some practice, but if you don't ADS, so you just do this as a hip fire, and you make a hole about this size, you can see me doing here, you'll create a hole you can crouch walk through. It's weird because it doesn't actually go all the way to the floor, but it doesn't have to, and it'll still let you through. When it comes to hatches, those will take holes just like the walls if they're reinforced, but once enough damage is done, it'll break apart. If the hatch is unreinforced, the trapdoor will break almost instantly. Walls and floors aren't all the blowtorch will cut through though. It will also shred castle barricades. If you do it long enough, you'll shatter the whole door, but cutting smaller holes into it could be even more useful if you want something bulletproof to cover the rest of you while you shoot through the hole you just made. An interesting note for castle players is that if one of your armor panels was damaged this way, all you have to do is take it down and put it back up again, and it will be fully restored to the way it was before it was cut into. There's also a ton of other stuff that Maverick can wreck with the torch. Most anything the defenders can deploy that's metal is fair game. Deployable shields only take the lightest tap of the torch to fall to pieces. Same with Maestro's Evil Eye turrets. Even Frost welcome mats aren't safe from a single tap burst to destroy. And since the torch is very quiet and has a little bit longer range than melee, it's safer too. Barbed wire though takes longer. Back in the test server, it would one-tap the wire at that time, but they wanted to slow it down a little on final release so the barbed wire wasn't totally useless in the face of Maverick's torch. There's other defender gadgets that the torch can shred with just a little more effort. One of the biggest is countering mirror windows. There's a couple of ways to do it. The first is that you can expose the canister from below on the front side. Once you've done that, by staying low, you can angle a shot up into the canister and then drop the window. Just be careful when you get back up again that there's not a defender waiting for you to appear. The other method of doing it uses these 4 support pins around the window. If you can cut through all 4 of these, the window will be completely destroyed, leaving an even bigger hole than if the window just dropped on its own. With a little educated guesswork from the front side, you can hit these approximate positions with 4 single taps and use hardly any of your fuel to make a pretty big hole. This is powerful because Mira's other main counters, either a twitch drone or a bullet to the canister, required you to access the back side of the window where the canister is, but now you can do it all from the front. Another very powerful technique is that of taking out the bottom part of reinforcement panels for bandit batteries. By doing this, you can also deny the ability to bandit trick the batteries, as you can see them try to place another one and take it out. It doesn't matter if the wall is already electrified, it does nothing to stop the blowtorch from cutting into it. Do note that even if a line is drawn across the bottom of the reinforcement, you can still connect a battery to it and electrify the whole panel again, but like I said, there's nothing stopping you from then shooting it through that open hole. Same thing with Mute's jammers. They don't do anything to stop the torch from reaching the wall, and once through, taking out the jammer is simple. This is another powerful aspect of Maverick because he can either replace or complement a Thatcher on the team. At least with an EMP grenade, the defense could still bandit trick or replace the jammer with a different one, but by making a permanent hole that literally can't be stopped, the attackers can just shoot any new device they try to place in the same area, which is more utility than Thatcher gives. Be careful of your feet though if you go up to that wall to place a thermite charge after the hole is made, because holes in walls do work both ways. To help protect against that, have another operator throw some smoke down to cover you. Even with the smallest hole, it will still flood the other side with smoke, and even manages to cover the wall without a hole at all if the grenade lands right on top of it without rolling away. Once under cover of the smoke, the defenders won't be able to see you placing that thermite charge or cutting the hole bigger with the blowtorch, although the smoke can get in the way of what you see too, so be careful of that. Earlier I talked about a unique way Maverick can pair his claymore with his ability. Since he can make small holes in reinforced walls, he can place his claymore there and the laser will push through to the other side. The hole only needs to be big enough to let a single laser through to work. This will let you put claymores in places the defenders aren't used to expecting to deal with them. If you know there's a defender on the other side of a certain wall, you can even pre-place the claymore first and then make the blowtorch hole second. The laser will instantly hit anyone in its path the moment the hole opens. The blowtorch is definitely a tool first and foremost, but it can be used as a weapon if you want. It does 2 points of damage per one tap, but if you fire it continuously, it racks up a good amount of damage very quickly. If you're close enough to do this though, honestly, you're close enough to melee without using your fuel up, so this is really more for the fun of it than anything else. As a side note, it will not cause any damage at all through Clash's shield. Another fun technique is to create lines just above the bottom of the reinforced panel in spots where you can work the elevation in your favor by going up and down steps or while on a rappel line. This puts the defenders in an awkward position because they have to go prone and try to find an angle on you, but you can easily change elevation to work any angle you need to hit their feet. Maverick really doesn't have any direct counters at all, and he directly counters quite a few other operators' primary and secondary gadgets and defenses. This makes him potentially very strong and hard to counter with anything other than just outright killing him. He combos pretty well with a few operators too. One of the best combinations will be with glass. Even the smallest holes in a metal wall will let his thermal scope see that yellow on the other side to light targets up from angles that he would have never been able to shoot through open sightlines on before. A glass paired with a Maverick using the 50 caliber DMR is almost like having to deal with two high damage snipers shooting at you through metal walls. Another useful combo is Blackbeard. Having a metal wall with a small murder hole in it really allows him to get the most out of his rifle shield, and can make it so it's literally impossible to hurt Blackbeard on the first shot, even with a direct hit. Of course, his rifle shield doesn't take too much damage before breaking these days, so try to make the most of the opportunity when you get it. So that wraps up our in-depth look at Maverick. He is a very powerful operator with 3 speed, 1 armor, and a gadget that brings a ton of utility to the attacking team. Tomorrow I'll be taking a closer look at the in-depth operator profile for Clash, so be sure to look out for that. And in the coming days we'll also be taking a look at other content related to Grim Sky. So if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification icon so you're alerted as soon as I make new content available. You can also follow me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.